While we were in production with this video, we got the sad news that the Varnish is closing for good. And this was originally a video as just sort of a love letter to one of my favorite bars, and then also a bar that I worked in close proximity to for a very long time. But you can't go there anymore. So now I feel that this video is even doubly important because not only is it a love letter to one of my favorite bars, but it's also then providing you with some cocktail recipes that you're not going to be able to go get anymore, which is really sad. Today's video is supported by H-Proof. H-Proof is a company that develops science-supported vitamins that helps you feel good despite the downsides of aging. Whether you're going out for drinks or traveling or attending a bachelor or bachelorette party, or if you're like me and you have to basically go to lots of tastings for work, their doctor-developed chewable vitamins will give you a specific support to help you feel your best. So H-Proof currently sells two different vitamins. The Anytime You Drink vitamin. When you drink, your body produces an enzyme in the liver to metabolize alcohol. But as we age, we make fewer of these enzymes and our alcohol metabolism slows down. So even 2 or 3 drinks can mean a rough morning. After a few drinks, chew 2 tablets of the Anytime You Drink vitamin to support alcohol metabolism, promote liver health, and restore vital nutrients to your liver zone. So you could just wake up feeling better than you should, or better than you thought you would anyway. And then the second product that they have is the Anytime You Need Energy vitamin. If you struggle with maintaining your ideal energy level throughout your day, this vitamin energizes you without a jolt. It doesn't give you any like jitters, you won't have a crash, and guess what? It is completely chewable, so easy to take. So if you too want to wake up feeling better than you should next time you get into grandpa's old cough medicine, go to h-proof.com/barfly. That's h-proof.com/barfly, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. And then you can use promo code BARFLY for 15% off at checkout. A while ago on our Patreon, some people commented and said that they thought it might be cool to do some videos on bar programs and their specific cocktails, and I thought that was a really good idea because there's a ton of great bars everywhere, and because YouTube has a global audience, not everyone can get to every single bar to actually experience them, so why not pick some of their cocktails that are simple to make at home, make them so you can get a taste of the bar. The Varnish is a bar that's near and dear to my heart. It's one of the first speakeasy style bars that opened here in LA. I think predated only by the Roger Room. And it is a bar that was opened by Eric Alpern, Sasha Petraske, and Said Moses. If you've been watching this channel for a while, then you'll know that Sasha Petraske was the founder of Milk and Honey in New York City. Eric Alpern is a New York City bartender who was working for Sasha Petraske at another one of his locations called Little Branch, and then came to Los Angeles with Sasha and then partnered up with Said Moses, and together they opened up the Varnish in the back of Cole's French Dip in 2008. Cole's French Dip is my old bar, so the Varnish was the speakeasy in the back of the front bar, which is where I worked, and it is an offshoot of Milk and Honey. So one of the brilliant things that Sasha Petraske did was that he not only helped to develop a lot of amazing bartending talent, but then he took those talented bartenders, put them in business, and they went out to open their own bars, and they opened up these bar programs that had a basis in the Milk and Honey style of bartending. When Sasha opened Milk and Honey, what he did was he found old school recipes and modernized them and simplified them. Every single bar that you go to that are in this bar family are going to have drinks that are just very slight riffs off of the other drinks that are in that family. But what I think all of these bartenders really understand is that all you need to do is tweak a recipe, sometimes only like 10 degrees away from what it was originally, and have something that is a wholly different drink. But why that's a smart business move is that it ensures consistency across the entire bar programs. So if you're in New York City and you like Milk and Honey and then you travel to Los Angeles, you know that you can go to the Varnish and get something that is the exact same quality, held to the highest standards, made in the same way with ingredients that have been produced roughly in the same way, and you have something that is not necessarily a cookie cutter of what you have in New York, but something similar enough that it's familiar and you know that the quality is going to be good. So today we're going to be doing 3 cocktails, and it follows that the Varnish, a lot of the cocktails there are cocktails that you would have found at Little Branch or Milk and Honey or Dutch Kills or any of the other bars that are in the bar group. I am focusing on 3 that were developed at the Varnish itself. These are going to be very simple cocktails based in classics that are going to be really easy to make. And then for the most part, nothing's going to be brand specific. You'll be able to switch things out. And I don't don't know. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Let's get into making the cocktails. And one last thing before we start, Eric Alpern, the owner of the Varnish, has a book out called Unvarnished, a gimlet-eyed look at life behind the bar. It is definitely worth checking out, and you will find a bunch of recipes in there, even though it is a narrative story of bartending. There you go. Marius wanted me to show you the book. If you guys are interested in the book, you can find a link below to our Amazon store where we get a little tiny commission off of each book sold. So go buy some books and you will enjoy this, I promise you. So the first drink that we're doing is from a bartender named Mickey Cristolo, who's one of my good friends. She is part of one of the old school crew that used to work at the Varnish. She was working there while I was working at Kohl's. She's a lovely person, and she made this awesome old-fashioned variation called an Outlander.
You might also know her from the Vatican City.
Oh, that's right. We did do the Vatican City with her as well. I have all this fancy shaking accoutrement, but the first drink is actually being built in a glass. I like to have my glasses chilled before I start, and then we're gonna take out our ice here and make sure that it tempers. First thing we're gonna do is just 2 dashes of absinthe into the bottom of the glass, and then we're gonna do 2 dashes of Peychaud's into the bottom of the glass. This is gonna be super simple, guys, really easy. Ooh, this is a freshie. To actually crack it open. 1/2 ounce of maraschino liqueur and 2 ounces of blended scotch of your choice. And we're just gonna sink this in here like so and give it a stir. I don't know why I said give it a stir like that. It was like a weird, like halfway between Borat and an Irish accent or something. Exciting. And we're just gonna use a little cocktail cherry here. Boop. And a lemon twist as well. There we go. Okay, let's give it a sip. Yep, I like how, ooh, it's nice, you know, because you got, I don't know, I mean, Monkey Shoulder isn't like super smoky, but it definitely has a little bit of smoke character right on the back end. It's nice because you get the anise notes of the absinthe, which I think will, you know, just saying that kind of turns a lot of people off. A lot of people are like, I don't like absinthe because of the anise. But working within the context of the scotch is really nice. You have the sweet dryness of the maraschino liqueur, and then on top of that, you get a little bit of the Peychaud's bitters, which also has some anise, right? So it's gonna playing up that kind of Creole flavor. And I know that some of you are gonna say, oh, well, how can maraschino liqueur be both dry and sweet, because isn't sweet the opposite of dry? And I guess that kind of is true, but if you taste it, it has a drying characteristic on the palate, and yet it is also sweet. It is kind of dry on the palate. I don't really know how to explain that other than, I don't even know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. I don't know. And then you get a little bit of the lemon as well. The lemon is just like really nice fresh citrus pop. It tastes like an old-fashioned should, and it's fantastic. So there it is, guys, the Outlander. So the next one is called La Otra Palabra, which means the other word in Spanish. This is a last word variation from the Varnish's co-founder, Eric Alpern. In a tin, we're gonna do, well, I guess we'll cut our juicy limes. This is a very ripe lime, let me tell you. 1 ounce of lime juice, a bar spoon of light agave. I like to mix it in here to make sure to get everything off the spoon. 1/4 ounce yellow chartreuse. And if you're looking for a yellow chartreuse alternative that's easy to find, you could do Strega, is a good yellow chartreuse alternative. Benedictine is not the same thing, but it's a fair alternative. It'll definitely work in the same cocktails. 1/4 maraschino liqueur as well. And then we're gonna do 2 ounces of mezcal of your choice. I like to use Espadín because it is like lightly smoky, but then also has a lot of citrus and minerality and salinity to it, which makes it really nice, especially in cocktails that have citrus. Mr. Alpern does this the way that I like to do daiquiris, which is to put 1 big rock of ice in here and shake it so you get like a little bit less dilution, but you get a lot more aeration of the ingredients. Shake it. Big rock of ice, strain it. No garnish. Like a little bit more complex of like a mezcal fix. You got your lime juice, nice and tart. Botanicals from the yellow chartreuse, plus a little bit of the sweetness, the drying sweetness of the maraschino liqueur, which you would think it would get lost in the chartreuse, but because it's such small amounts, it actually does really well for it. A little bit of that warmth of the agave, and then you get a little bit more sweetness to kind of balance it out, and then you get a lot of the character of the mezcal. This drink is really all about mezcal, and a lot of people don't like to do mezcal cocktails because it is true that mezcal flavor can really overtake other ingredients, but here it is balanced and it works really nicely. So there it is, La Otra Palabra. The Omuamua was created by Brian Tetrarakis, probably somewhere around 2017 or 2016. Brian was my direct boss. He was the general manager of the Varnish and Coles. I was the bar manager of Coles. I don't know why I threw that little tidbit in, but it's nice to be able to make a cocktail from him. He left the Varnish and he's now in Ohio somewhere. I think the Spotted Owl, still possibly maybe. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while. This cocktail is a riff on a pina colada, and it utilizes a little bit of Oloroso sherry. It's going to be magnifique. Let's actually make the drink though, shall we? 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice, 1/4 ounce of lime juice, 1/2 ounce cream of coconut, 1 ounce Oloroso sherry. It's going to give it that nutty, vinegary, kind of acidic vibe to it. And then we're gonna do 1 ounce of aged rum, Scotia Pebble, give it a whip shake. You wanna whip shake it until most of the ice is gone, if not all of it. And I'm just gonna pour it straight into the glass like so. Top it up with pebble. And then we got our mint sprigs. I kind of pre-did them, so I'm not going to show you how to do them, but you just want to rip off the bottom leaves, pinch it into a bouquet like this, give it a slappy, poopy, crushy pants right here, and then just twist off the stems so that when you put it in here, it sort of pushes the bouquet up and it's not like all over the drink, see? And then we're going to take a little absinthe here and we're just going to spritz a little right over the top. It's going to bring out a lot of the cooling aromatics in the mint. Let's give this the old sizzle sazzle, shall we? Oh, God damn. So good. You know, so pina coladas are really not that complex. You know, you got your pineapple, you got your coconut, you got your lime if you're going to add a little bit of acid in here. But what Mr. Tetrarakis did with this cocktail was that he added in the Oloroso sherry, which gives it a little bit more astringency, a little bit more like a nutty, acidic bite to it. And then you have a little bit of aged rum playing up there. So you got, you know, nice body of the cocktail. And it's just this nicely balanced, not too sweet, tropical cocktail that doesn't read as overly tropical and crazy. So there it is, the Omuamua. So the Omuamua was gonna be the last cocktail in this video, and then I realized something, that the thumbnail was just gonna look really weird. Like if I have 2 short glasses here, and then 1 long glass here, it's just gonna look weird in the thumb. So I decided that I would balance it out with another cocktail. This one definitely is like a pretty standard drink. It wasn't created by the Varnish, but it is the Varnish's version of a pineapple daiquiri. So for the pineapple daiquiri, we're gonna take our tin here. I think I squeezed enough lime juice as it is, so I'm just gonna do 1/2 ounce of our lime juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, and then we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of pineapple juice. And then for this one, they say you can do light or dark. I'm actually gonna do a rum blend. I'm gonna do 1.5 ounces of Demerara rum. We're gonna just use this El Dorado 5-year, okay? And then I'm gonna do 1/2 ounce of pineapple rum to just play up the pineapple complexity. So most daiquiris I shake with just 1 big rock, which I'm gonna do. But then I'm also gonna put a little cheater cube in there so that we get the correct dilution. Give it a shake. And then strain it into our cocktail glass like so. I'm gonna do a tribal lime garnish. You know what I should do? All the oils as they express onto the drink as I do this. Because why the heck not? It's all right, cheers. It's everything you want in a pineapple daiquiri. And we've really played up that pineapple in the barrel notes. Obviously the rum is pretty prevalent in here. A lot of pineapple. And then of course you got enough acid from the lime. Balance that out with simple syrup. Not a very complex drink, but a very, very, very pleasing one. There it is, the Varnish's pineapple daiquiri.